Good afternoon. Welcome to Midcap Radar. I'm Sonal Bhutra. With me is Vivek Iyer. Well, just a while back, we were talking about that recovery on the Nifty. That has been sold into. The midcaps, they continue to do well. Banks continue to be under pressure. And a lot of updates coming in for quarter one.
Especially from the BFSI space, right? You know, it's the large cap lenders, you know, it's the mid cap lenders, the PSU lenders, all of them, you know, in the last 48 hours have come in and given the operational update as far as Q1 is concerned. Like you mentioned, the mid cap index is one that's actually outperforming the the benchmark indices. But quite a lot lined up on this particular show. Let's start off with the top headlines. Frontline stocks take a leg down after their heady run, even as mid-caps buck the trend. Pharma, healthcare, along with oil and gas, eke out some gains, but financials and banks retreat.
Shilpa Medicare surges after reporting positive results from clinical trial of a new molecule for potential treatment of a chronic kidney disease. Stock up over 15%.
Raymond surges in trade after the board approves the demerger of the realty business. Shareholders to get one share of the realty business for every share held in Raymond.
Rail stocks like Ircon and RVNL climb after Ircon, as a part of joint venture, gets a 750 crore rupee order to install broad gauge ballastless track in Uttarakhand from RVNL. Okay, all right, it's a day for the broader markets. The Nifty is down 40 points. At a point in time, we were down just 20, very close to recovering in the green, but that has been sold into for now. What is doing well and continues to do well is the mid-cap space. So that index is an outperform and a how. 0.7%. There has been a massive recovery from the opening lows as well on the mid-caps. What's putting pressure on the markets? Of course, it's the banking index. That's courtesy HDFC Bank yet again. Yesterday, that stock was under pressure. That continues to be the case today as well. And we do have a lot of updates from the broader markets. RBL Bank, Punjab National Bank, all of them reacting to their BFSI updates. Just getting it from Dhanlakshmi Bank as well. The stock is holding up in the green. Advances are up both on a YY and on a quarter-on-quarter basis. And in terms of deposits, they have also grown both on a YY and on a quarter-on-quarter basis. But that continues to be the way, right? And we do have earnings coming up next week. So that is something which will impact the markets.
Right. In fact, you know, if you're looking at PSU banks, Dhanlakshmi Bank, PNB Bank, both of them have actually showed much better traction in deposits compared to what some of the private lenders have shown. But this is our special segment, Mid-Cap Movers. Hormaz is standing at the wall to take us through the mid-caps that are moving around in the session.
Well, the mid-caps and the broader markets have chosen to come back with a vengeance after the last week or 10 days were dominated by the large caps. And you can see that in the moves as well that you're seeing in individual stocks when it comes to the broader markets. And some of the top gainers in the space there, Raymond, after the news flow that came in last evening, 12% higher. At one point was up almost 17-18%. Chinese Tech is up 7.5%. CG Power is doing well, almost at 800 now. It's 6% higher there as well. And Vardhaman Textile is having a good day today, another 8.5%, almost at the day's high. Defense stocks continue to surge. They've been in the news over the last week, month, fortnight, whatever timeline you'd want to call it. BEML is up 11%, Data Patterns, BEL. Masgao Dock has had a very choppy day today. At one point was up 6%, then turned negative, and then again has recovered those losses. But Cochin Shipyard is in a league of its own, 4.5% higher there as well. The stock is up 300% this year already. Railway stocks are continuing to be doing well. RVNL, after that order, the contract that they signed with the DMRC, 17% higher there. Ircon is up 10%. IRFC is back today after a while now, 7% higher there as well. And Railtel at the day's high, almost all of them at the day's high as of now. Volume buzzers then, some stocks doing well there. Lotus Labs is up for the second day in running, 5% higher today as well, now nearing 500. MTAR Tech as well, along with the defense stocks, and Blue Star is up 6% off the highs of the day, but trading with strong volumes. And lastly, some underperformers in today's session, a few and far in between, but Vedant Fashions, MedPlus and JB Chemicals form a part of that list. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that list, Hormaz. By the way, Dhanlakshmi Bank, the stock is surging up 4.5% now. The street seems to like quarterly update. The gold loan is up 28% on a YY basis, 11% on a sequential basis. So it has surged to the day's high. There's a sharp spike from the lows of the day as well. So that's Dhanlakshmi Bank for you, Q1 FY25 update liked by the street. Let's welcome Himen Kapadia from KR Chayuxi Securities for a technical check on the markets. Himen, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, we did recover from the opening lows for sure, but Nifty hasn't been able to recover into the green. Do you think this is a level which could be an important level to watch out for? What about the Bank Nifty as well?
A very good afternoon to you, Sonal. Thank you for having me on the show. It was a pleasure. I'll start with the Bank Nifty first, Sonal, because HDFC Bank has turned turtle, so to speak. It's a major reversal flip-flop, 150 points off from the high in just 2 trading sessions. That has spoiled the Bank Nifty movement, and not only that, today we're on the verge of the MACD giving a sell on the daily chart on the Bank Nifty simply because of HDFC Bank. So, and this obviously will take its toll on the Nifty also. We are stretched, we overbought, we're riding on top of a major move from 4th June. Everything is fine, but stocks are doing what they're doing. I think, like you also mentioned, the mid caps, Hormuz mentioned, mid caps have stayed a strong comeback. So I think better to be specific, but if HDFC Bank stages a recovery, that would provide some respite for the Bank Nifty. But otherwise, the picture is getting a bit cloudy as far as the Bank Nifty is concerned. Nifty will be more or less insulated because of one and only Reliance. I think Reliance still has a clear upside left. So I guess it's Bank Nifty looking better than, it's Nifty looking better than the Bank Nifty now. So
Thank you so much for that, Himen. Himen, just before I come to you to take your top picks, if you could just have a look at the charts of some of these railway stocks. Have a look at a name like RITES, IRCON, RVNL. The last half hour, all of them have surged to the high point of the session. Himen, first of all, what are your top picks for the today? And do you have any calls on any of the railway PSU stocks? They're doing quite spectacular in the session today.
Hi, Vivek. Yeah, firstly, I'll just run through my calls. I have a buy call on Hindustan Unilever. I had a buy call last week also. The target was hit, and it's a repeat call because looks good. Same logic applies. Oscillators buy, almost rounding bottom. Stock is staging a recovery. A further upside is overcoming the resistance level. So one can buy HUL at around 2525. Stop loss of 2495. Target of 2585. Second stock is Reliance. Reliance gave a 21-week breakout, Vivek, about 3018. Gave a breakout. And after that, we've had a 5 trading session cool off. And now it's getting ready to start the next leg of its up move. So Reliance is a very clear buy. One can buy Reliance at 3140. Stop loss of 3090. Target 3240. There is the recent all-time swing high at around 3160, which I believe would get taken on very easily. Now, coming back to the other stocks that you mentioned, Vivek, I think even if we start with the RITES, 6 months of a consolidation phase. So some of these stocks have, in a raging bull market, Vivek, something like a RITES has consolidated, given a time and a price retracement in 6 months, 820 to 560, and now we're back on track. It's going to 950 and more, Vivek, absolutely no doubt. And even the RailTel and many of the stocks that you spoke about, now they're all over the place. But even if you look at RailTel, Vivek, 6 months, 490, low of 300. Now we've done an upward key reversal in the last month, and we're early July, and we're breaking out from there. So many of these stocks are sitting on significant rises, but Vivek, 5-6 months in a market like this, cooling off, giving a time price retracement, not going down much, augurs well for the next round. It's up move. So base has been formed, and despite the move, I believe there is clear upside left in all the stocks that you mentioned, Vivek.
Okay, all right, Himen, thank you so much for joining us and have a great weekend ahead. By the way, those are some comments coming in from Rajiv Bajaj on the launch of world's first CNG motorcycle. He's saying game-changing day for us at Bajaj Auto. The stock is doing well, and of course, we are getting some visuals as well. We'll just check if we can cut into this particular conversation right now, but looks like the most important thing, of course, will be pricing of this this particular vehicle. and what are the other features of the bike, what would the mileage be, and other price points as well.
I think Parikshit just told us that it should be in the range between 80 to 90,000. Right? It's going to be a very important day, and he's saying it's a game-changing day. So we'll have to wait and watch. First of all, I want to see how the bike looks, and second, at what price point it comes in at.
And in this case, we could also, of course, because I track the oil and gas space, also watch out for Mahanagar Gas, because it has its exposure in the Maharashtra market, and getting bikes now as a part of their overall portfolio, that just means volume improvement for this company. How much will it be?
Whole new market.
How much will it be? Will people actually go ahead and buy CNG bikes? That's again a question mark. But yes, of course, this would be a whole new market for Mahanagar Gas as well. So watch out for that stock. It has been doing well of late. We'll see how much of it is already in the price, because the stock is surged and one of the cheapest stocks in the city gas distribution space as well. Okay, all right. We'll do one thing. We'll keep getting more updates for you on this launch. We'll slip into a short break. When we come back, we'll talk more about the markets and stock-specific action. Stay tuned for that. Welcome back. A lot of pockets in the markets which are doing well, and metal stocks, a whole host of them are gaining in trade today. On the back of multiple news updates, Nigel is here with the analysis. Nigel, what's working for the metal names?
Well, I've got three big pointers. One is, ahead of the jobs report, sometimes there is a speculation that that number is going to be a miss, and the street loves that, because then the Fed will go ahead and cut rates. So on the back of that, normally you see the metal stocks go into the event higher, and that's the case here again. So that's point number one. Point number two. There's a report that's come in there, and we haven't verified it by, by any source, but we're just going by the report. What it suggests is that the Steel Federation has recommended a merger to the Steel Ministry. What is the merger? They're recommending that 3 companies get merged with SAIL. Which are the 3 companies? Well, they are talking about RINL, they're talking about FSNL, as well as NMDC Steel. So they're saying all these 3 companies should get merged into SAIL. And they believe that a merger will be better than privatization. We know that the government has been talking about NMDC Steel's privatization, but they say that no, this is a better option. Now let's run you through a few details. What is the rationale that they have given? They say that it will help SAIL go to around the 35 million ton capacity that they have been gunning for by 2030. As of now, SAIL has around 20 million tons, and both these two entities, that is NMDC Steel has 3 million tons and RVNL has close to around 7 million tons. So put all of that together, if it merges, then you'll have close to around 30 million tons in a single unit. Centrum Brokering, well, they have come out with a note. They say that they believe it's positive, because the capacity goes up by close to 50%, 20 to 30 million ton. They say at peak utilization levels, the EBITDA number can move from around 13,000 crores all the way to around 20,000 crores. And more importantly, if they can do this merger, then it avoids any big capex for SAIL, which was estimated at around 80,000 to around 1 lakh crores or so. Higher capacity, maybe probability of better EBITDA, and also avoiding any kind of big leverage in the books. Those are the reasons that they have given. Some part of the street, though, believes that in the near term, it will be a bit of a negative, because as of now, both those two assets are struggling in an operational performance. Now, moving to the third point, Antique has come out with a note on Nalco, and they have a buy rating, and they've upped the target price a little bit to around 235. They have given 3 big reasons: pricing, cost saving, and volume push as well. On pricing, they're saying that the LME aluminium prices, well, it's much higher on a sequential basis as well as on a year-on-year basis, close to 11 to around 14%. On the alumina side of things, they're saying the price of alumina in comparison to what it was at the end of the past quarter, that's quarter 4 FY24, it's up by close to around 18%. So pricing is good. Second factor is on the cost side. One of the coal blocks had got commissioned and they were getting 2 million tons. Now the second coal block as well comes on stream, then they'll have 4 million tons. So there'll be cost saving because the power and fuel costs will go down. And the third factor that they've highlighted is that they have been talking about this brownfield expansion of the alumina facility, which could come on stream in the second half of FY26. And also there are talks about expanding the aluminum capacity as well. So that's why Antique is positive on Nalco, pricing, volume growth, and cost saving. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Nigel, for breaking down the entire metal rally for us. The next stock on our radar is Raymond. The stock is surging in the session today as the board has approved the plan for the real estate business demerger. This is our special segment, Mid-Cap Spotlight. Upasana is here with all of the details and the analysis.
Well, the board has approved the plan of demerger of real estate business into its wholly owned subsidiary, that is Raymond Realty Limited, and the company seeks listing for the same. The shareholders to get 1 Raymond Realty shares for each share held in Raymond Limited. Well, the group has identified 3 distinct growth drivers, that is Raymond Engineering Business, which is already listed, and Raymond Lifestyle Limited and Raymond Real Estate Business, and the company seeks listing for both of these business verticals. The company believes that the shareholder value creation will be on the cards, as the simplification of the group structure will enhance value through its structural benefits. The bifurcation of these businesses will enable value unlocking of each vertical, and segregation of these business verticals will enable them to move forward independently. Now, looking at FY24 numbers, the lifestyle business grew about 6% in FY24. Real estate coupled with engineering business grew almost 24% in FY24. Now, placing focus on real estate business, the turnover stood at 1,593 crores, which contributed almost 24% of the total turnover of the company as of 31st March 2024. Now, looking at the shareholding of Raymond Realty Limited pre and post the demerger, pre-demerger, the promoter shareholding stands 100%, and after the demerger, the promoter shareholding stands at 45%, while public stands at 51%. Now, taking a brief financial overview, in FY24, the real estate business the revenue saw an uptick of almost 43% on a YoY basis, and margins stood at 22.5% versus 24.8% on a YoY basis. Mind you that the company's con call is scheduled today at 4 p.m., where company will be commenting on its value unlocking and the key rationale behind the demerger of the real estate business, and we'll be closely watching out for that.
All right. Thank you so much, Upasana, for joining us with all those details. A big mover indeed in today's trading session, and we'll get you the updates from the conference call as well. Slip into a short break now. We'll get you more on the markets and stock-specific action on the other side. Stay tuned for that.
Welcome back to Mid-Cap Radar. It's the mid-cap and the small-cap end of the markets that continue to hold the markets higher. But one particular company that we are focusing on today is Ixigo. The stock is surging in trade. The travel platform major reported its first quarterly performance since listing. Earlier today, we spoke to the management of the company to discuss the growth outlook going forward. Listen in to what they had to say.
More than the growth, I think what I would like to comment about is the fact that the reason why we have been growing incrementally year over year is inherently because of the ability to monetize from the large captive user base that we have, and the amount of innovations that we have done on the ancillary and value-added services side.
Our strategy will be to incentivize new bookers, spend on performance and brand, and make sure that we capture market share on the flight side and continue growing faster than the market there. Whereas on the train side, overall market is again not growing that fast, right? I mean, there's a single-digit percentage capacity growth. So again, there we are growing much faster than the market. On the bus side, again, it's an under-penetrated market. Less than 20% of bus bookings get done online. And we are the second largest player, but we are also one of the fastest growing ones there. So if we are able to just maintain slightly better growth than the market, I think we should have a right to continue growing this way. But what I would guide is this year, overall market is going to grow slower. Overall OTA market is going to grow slower than it was growing this year for these capacity constraint reasons across flight and train.
Okay, that is about Ixigo. Let's also focus on Sheela Foam. The stock is surging in trade. The company expects overall revenue growth for the year to be in the range of 15 to 20%. This surge also came in after the conversation we had with the management, the CMD of the company, that is Rahul Gautam. He spoke about the opportunities in export markets and more. Listen in to excerpt of that conversation.
We are looking at close to 10% as a volume growth, and close to about between 10 to 15% as a value growth. Spain is we have a very small market share in a very large European Union market. Though the markets are shrinking and contracting there, but we are continuing to grow. Last year, we did see a drop in the top line, and that was primarily on account of the raw material prices coming down. Consolidation there would really bring about the increase in the bottom line and in the margins. So what was hovering more around 7-8%, we expect that to go up to between 10 and 11%. And that integration has done well, although we are not yet a year away from the transaction. And we are beginning to see those numbers in the bottom line. It's the front end which is taking more time.
Well, some important commentary from Sheila Foam over there. The next company in focus is a stock from the BFSI space. Utkarsh Small Finance Bank slips in trade after reporting its Q1 FY25 business update. Abhishek is here with more details.
Well, to look at the numbers of business update that's been given by Utkarsh Small Finance Bank, again, CASA depletion is one of the highlights that entire banking sector is witnessing. Deposit growth is at 30% YOY and about 4% sequentially. CASA is down by 3.6% quarter on quarter, so the CASA ratio has declined to 19% versus 20.5% in the previous quarter. Retail term deposits, they are up 9.5% on a quarter on quarter basis, and if you take a look, the overall loan growth is also a bit tepid at about 3 to 4% on a sequential basis. Back to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Abhishek. So that is the word coming, and that is the update coming in from Utkarsh Small Finance Bank. Let's quickly take a look at the markets again before we wrap on mid-cap radar. Nifty is down 50 points now. We have the Bank Nifty, which continues to surf today. It's a 600-point cut on that index for now. The mid-caps continue to do well, so 0.7% higher there. And it has been steady at those levels for last couple of trading sessions itself. So we will keep tracking markets for you. But for now, we'll take your leave on this edition of Mid-Cap Radar. As we count down to the budget, we'll focus on the defense stocks on our special show coming up next. Stay tuned for that conversation.